Okay, so we are here on the bank of the Cape Fear River. It's been a few years since I've been here, but I'm with River King Brian, and I'm sure many of you know Shane from Monkeying Around. And he's kind of set up this trip with another guy I've been trying to go with for years, about 2 years now, and we're super stoked. He is, I mean, he's an A-lister on YouTube. There's just no other way to say it. 700,000 subscribers. He's got kayak camping. Did you say what? 7,000? I thought someone said 700,000. Shane? Okay, but he is a kayak camping expert, and so we're looking to get out there and learn some stuff from him. He's what? He's never done it? He's never. You've never been kayak camping?
7,000.
7,000?
Sorry.
Shane, this has been a huge mistake. Huge mistake. What was the 700,000? I am here with Steve from Adventure Outdoors, and he is no stranger to adventure, but this is his first kayak camping trip. So it's an honor for Brian and I to finally meet up with him and get him out there on the river. So what are you thinking, man?
Well, I'm jacked! Woo!
That's what I'm talking
about.
Let's go! Well, as you see there, there's a few bugs out here today. I guess that's coming up on the video. Can you see them? Only a few million. Hope everyone's hammock has a net.
The mighty Cape Fear. I've paddled the Haw River from home into the Cape Fear and all the way down to Carolina Beach, which was 241 miles in 6 days solo. It was my first long-distance kayak trip, and it always has a special place in my heart.
Are your cameras tethered off?
They're not really tethered. They're clamped.
Okay.
No, you gotta we'll let Shane tell you that story.
Tell me what a tether do for you, Shane.
Yeah, sometimes.
An old saying that if you don't keep your deck clean, the river will clean it for you. Are your cameras tethered on?
And so started our journey down the Cape Fear. From Buckhorn Dam, this would be the first set of rapids and Steve's first test of kayaking on a river. It's a narrow funnel of water called the shortcut. It's on the far river right. And I was shown this shortcut by a local named Billy on my way to the beach. Come to think of it, it's the only way I've ever been on this river. All the current kind of runs out, leaving you trying to scrape down a little waterfall. The technicality of this little manky rapid is just enough to let me know how Steve and Shane are going to do on the rest of the trip. And Brian, he'll be fine. It's hard to find a line through here with a 14.5-foot boat. After the shortcut, it opens back out into the main river channel, where you have to bob and weave through the crowded boulder garden. If they make it through here, they'll probably be alright for the rest of the trip, although tomorrow's rapids will be significantly bigger. Everyone made it just fine. After the initial flurry, the river settles down to a shallow, swift, shoaly type of river. Wide open views, easy sailing, and just enough action to keep it from being too monotonous. We had a perfect day. Good group of guys. And we even saw some deer.
Everybody's speeding up. And they're speeding up too. I want no part of this group.
All right, buddy, this one's for you, Petey. I caught a little banded water snake on the river. He's a nice little fella, but I'm gonna let him go so I don't stress him out.
Don't you do it. I know
You don't like snakes?
I know what you're doing.
You don't like snakes?
I see it through your glasses.
So this is a northern banded water snake. It is not a water moccasin. See, the pupils are round. He's just chilling out, getting a little sun on the paddle. He's probably tired from swimming. The pupils are round. They're not cat-like slits. And everything about the snake looks like a water snake. So if you're not familiar with them, just look for the pupils. Don't kill this snake. It's a good one. Carry on.
Continuing down the river, we were all ready to stretch our legs and get out of the boat for a minute. We had been on the water for a couple of hours. There looked like a beach just after this rapid, if we could make it there.
You see, don't run into that, Steve. So we are here on some unnamed island. At least we don't know the name. We've got eagles flying in the sky. We've got a beautiful stretch of river we just came through. Just enough rapids to keep it from being too flat. Mess with the snake. Now we're just stretching the old legs and taking a break. Steve got in a little high. Oh yeah. Looks like he's got it though. He's at the point of no return. Like a pro. Like a pro.
As we continue down the river into the Raven Rock State Park area, you can see the conflict in the geology. There's still some giant rock bluffs, and there's some rapids ahead. But you can definitely tell that the river is trying to get into the lowlands and slow down on its way to the beach. The river's starting to leave behind the braided channels, the rock islands, and the bedrock. It's starting to get flat and wide and shoaly and uniform. Instead of tons of small rapids, the river seems to save up its energy and drop in elevation all at once. And we would find that just ahead at Lanier Falls.
Oh, this is perfect. I'd never get rid of that thing, man. So we're here on an island here, right at Lanier Falls, and we're about to look at it. The boys get their first gander of the rapid. Scouting the line. That's a pretty good little flume of water. It's not super crazy today, but it's just enough to be super fun. You come down the line, you want to kind of boat angle left just a touch. And then make your way through that stuff. Might be a little bony. The other option is on the river right. It's more of a creek line. You go into there, then there's a curler, and you kind of work your way down. And then on the far right of the island, there's another line, but I haven't seen that today. Should be fun. But how you feeling, Steve?
Wonderful. Awesome so far. Great day.
Shane? Yeah, they got to look at from up here. Lanier Falls doesn't look that big. You know, it's kind of not. But it's got a little beefcake running through it, you know, for a first honest good rapid. So I think they thought I was overselling it. But when you see it from here, it's not big. When you get up on it, it looks twice or 3 times as big as it does from here. When you get in it, it looks like 10 times bigger. So I think they'll enjoy this one.
Well, I would say something about it, but you'd have to bleep it and edit it out.
Yeah?
Because something on my body has physically tightened up.
Your knee.
Yeah, my knee.
Yeah. All right, lunchtime is over. Everyone's strapping up, loaded up. We're leaving our beautiful little beach here. And this was a perfect beach. This is River King grade. Nice, low sloping, almost currentless landing into perfectly sized pebbles, just like we talked about. And this wouldn't be a bad campsite. We're just not at the right mileage marker. You can see the little bit of current going that way. But over here is Lanier Falls, and we're actually not going far, probably about 100 yards in the boats. We're gonna stop again on that rock, get out, do the line, and then the guys may watch me go first. We'll kind of sort it out when we get there. But next stop, Lanier Falls. I think everyone's stoked, excited about it. So this is pretty cool. I got River King Brian over here explaining the line to Steve and Shane. Looks like he's doing a good job. So I got Shane in the water. I got Brian in the water over there. Everyone's ready to go, getting skirts on. Steve, I think he says he's ready, but he's acting kind of funny. Sometimes you gotta get guys, you gotta get their attention. Hey, all right, bud, let's talk.
All right, okay.
You're not freaking out too big. I know you're kind of looking sketchy.
I'm ready.
You ready? You sure you're ready?
I'm ready.
You look me in the eye when I ask you, are you ready?
I'm ready!
You sure you're ready?
Ready!
You better get ready.
I'm ready!
That's what the river's gonna do to
Which
you.
way's my kayak?
Get some! King right there, boys. That's a River King. Look at him go. So I got a waterfall here. I think it's probably 3 or 4 feet, which in terms of running it with this boat, that's pretty good. It's pretty fun. It's kind of like a miniature kayaker's ledge on the French Broad, if you kind of know what I'm talking there. But what I need to do is do boat angle left through this whole rapid so that I don't get slammed up against a wall up there. So right behind me there, I'm gonna peel out and we'll be down the river.
Lanier Falls had been weighing on Steve and Shane's mind from the onset. It's a small class 3, something that Steve's never attempted, and something that Shane hasn't done in quite a few years. And now with that behind us, we settled into a magical afternoon on the river. As we wound through Raven Rock State Park and the last rapids and shoals that we'd get before we found Lillington. It was good to see Steve improving his skills. He was picking up a lot of tricks and learning fast,
There's wood over there.
and getting more comfortable on the river. So much of kayaking is counterinstinctual and counterintuitive. Even as a quick study, it just takes time and practice. I'm sure Steve will have it in no time flat. And Shane's like a new man in his pre-on Yukon. He had quite the reputation for flipping. I don't think he's swam yet since he's bought the boat. And Brian's just steady. Most of the time, Brian found himself leading out the rapids, and I ran sweep. And so the four of us kept moving on downstream, looking for the town of Lillington, and the promise of a hot dinner and some banana pudding. The river here is really beautiful, and it made me reminisce about my trip to the coast. Sometimes I've come around a corner, and it was like I was there on that first trip. Only this time with some good friends.
So we found us a pretty good little break spot, mostly sand. We thought it might be mud, but when we hit it, it was all sand. So pretty good spot. How you feeling, guys?
Good.
Venture outdoors. How you feeling?
I don't think I'm feeling good. My stomach's a little bit tore up.
Yeah.
Stomach just don't feel right.
Doesn't feel right.
No. I don't know what it is.
It's not from paddling too hard.
Feel better?
I'm okay now.
How you doing, Shane?
See, he give me the weight, so I do. I was like, there's something's going on right here.
Brian and I are having a little trouble trying to keep up with these guys. They're really putting the paddle to the water, kind of leaving us behind. We're like, hey, stop! We need a break. So good to catch our breath here.
Well, it's because Steve didn't feel real well.
Well, I feel better
That's
now.
right.
I think my stomach was upset. It's okay now.
It's okay.
Okay.
Good. Right on. Well, they're getting a little bit. They're like, psh, is that all this river's got? They're kind of getting a little cocky.
I'm needing some rapids.
You're needing rapids.
I'm needing some rapids.
It's been a kind of a spell of
Yeah.
nothing here for a while.
I'm needing some
I think there's some shoals leading into Lillington. I know for the first couple miles after Lillington, it's not a whole lot, but there are a couple things, and then it picks up. But most of that'll be tomorrow. But
rapids are in my DNA.
yeah.
Are your cameras tethered on?
I'm needing
If you
some.
do rapids big enough, your DNA is in the rapids. Next stop, icebox banana pudding, sweet tea.
Really?
Yeah. Oh. Woo!
Oh.
It's gonna be good.
And so we shoved back off into the river and kept putting paddle to the water. It was only a couple miles to Lillington and dinner. It was one of the most beautiful days we'd paddled with, weather and skies. Steve let out a few rapids, something I usually do when I'm trying to get someone up to speed. It forces them to make their own decisions. But having people around, it also gives them confidence that they're not making such a bad decision that they'll pay for it. It was about this time that each of us decided that we were actually hungry. I know Shane was talking sweet tea and burgers and barbecue. I was thinking hamburger, banana pudding, and Brian saw the bridge. Almost there.
Bridge. I hear Lillington, boys. All right, so Brian and I and Steve and Shane, which are just behind me, a couple hundred yards. We are just about to Lillington, and we are looking to get a hamburger or some barbecue or something from this restaurant. And we're really hoping that there's nothing crazy has happened and they're closed or something, which would be a catastrophic event on the morale of the expedition here.
I did bring my lasagna.
So you do have a lasagna in case things go bad?
I always bring the favorite as a backup.
That's right. I do also have my stuff, but it won't be the same as a burger. But it has been a good day. Had a little adventure up at Lanier Falls. Guys really seem to like that. Brian is a little bit regretting his decision not to come on that creek line with me, but sometimes you need that feeling of regret to boost you the next time. He would have had it no problem.
How y'all doing? Doing good.
Can we borrow your thing to go get a burger?
Go for it.
Thank you.
Where are you going to get a burger from?
The restaurant?
Yeah, the restaurant's closed on Monday, so.
No!
I told you.
Sorry about that.
No!
I figured I'd warn you before we walked all the way up there.
Son. Well, we had us a logistical fail. First one of the trip. We timed the trip out perfectly. Got here at 6:15, showed up at the dock. This restaurant here, it's got some pretty good food. And we were so ready to eat there, and then Steve, what happened?
About what?
The logistical fail.
I'm so freaking disappointed in you, Pete Beck.
Yeah.
You've promised barbecue since you began texting me about this trip like 2 weeks ago.
It's true.
All I've heard today is how this barbecue on the river will change your life. Well, now we're going to Hardee's. That did change my life, Pete.
The restaurant's closed on Mondays. So we are here with Lillington's best and Cape Fear River Adventure Zone. Caleb, world famous, and he is saving our restaurant event here. He's going to run us up to Hardee's, and so we owe him our life. But we appreciate it, man.
No problem.
Steve's always being difficult at the restaurant. Got to order specialty stuff. Can't just order what's on the menu. We're here with Caleb. He's actually even helping carry a drink down.
Yep.
This is Lillington's finest, this young man here, and he's got a bright future. In fact, Steve is going to name his next child, boy or girl, Caleb.
That's right.
After Caleb. So
This young man treated us awesome.
yeah, he's the best. So we really appreciate it, man.
No problem.
And I'll be looking for you if I'm ever a down pilot in a foreign country. I know you're coming to get me.
I got you.
You know, and this is Shane.
I hope it's as clear to you as it is to us that Shane wasn't here to meet anybody. I'm not sure he even noticed Caleb. He was coming for some sweet tea and a burger.
This is Caleb.
What's up, brother? Nice How to you meet doing?
Fine young man, getting ready to go in the military.
I'm Brian.
Oh, yeah? What you going in?
Air Force BJ's.
Good days.
Good deal.
Cool.
Well, we're ready to eat, but I appreciate it, brother.
Oh, no problem. I'm always down to help someone out.
You gotta love guys like Caleb.
Welcome to the River Kings request line. This next one going out to Heather from Caleb.
She's crazy, but her crazy's beautiful to me.
So we just finished dinner up, threw our trash away. There's a little storm to the south here moving in on us, and it's starting to sprinkle just a bit. It is 7:30 p.m. Bellies are full. Everyone's smiling. And the River Kings and the Bum Knee boys are off to look for a campsite. Brian came up with that. It's pretty good. So our plan is just to get away from this bridge and civilization a bit and take the first decent little beach we find. And I think we'll be set.
So So under a light rain, we shoved off from the banks of Lillington in the Cape Fear River Adventures boat ramp. Our mission was to find a campsite, and we were going to take the first one we found. The sun was peeking through the rain, and it was about to be a beautiful evening. And then this happened. Turtlehead Josh calls Shane to invite him on the Cape Fear River.
So Turtlehead Josh just called Shane.
Yeah, I mean, I appreciate the invite.
It's actually a little bit more than what I like it. Because you can pretty much always run the Cape Fear.
Oh, yeah?
You're always going to find a trail. So listen.
You said Lillington?
Yeah, I'll take you there.
Don't know if I've ever heard of. I don't know if I've heard of Lillington before. There's a set of falls. Lanier, Leroy.
You mean Lanier Falls?
Oh, yeah, that's it. Ellie, I don't know when I'm going to be able to get on the Cape Fear.
Run it back. So we have found home for the night. Kind of a nondescript sandy beach. Good access, good trees, no underbrush. It's not the world's best campsite, but it'll do for tonight. And we were just lucky enough to have a beautiful sunset happening. Still some clouds, we still got a little bit of sun left, but turned out to be a beautiful evening. Still got some storms off to the east, but I think they're moving away. And it's been a great day. So we are going to string up here, get comfortable, and probably sit around and talk a little bit. Turn in for the night and get ready for a big day tomorrow. We made exactly 17 miles on the GPS this evening. That's a pretty good day.
Just where it was needed, gleaming black as night, cloistered in injustice, dead in the eye of time. Nobody is losing, faces merge and change, but your face remains the same. Swallows will be here by dawn. When we're finally sober, they'll be gone.
So good morning. We had a great evening. Sat around and chatted till probably 11:30, telling stories and laughing. And then we just had a good nice rest. Perfect little campsite. And I'm just here getting ready to make my breakfast. The other guys are off that way just a little bit. I think a couple of them are still sleeping. Brian's up and at 'em, but I'm not sure about Shane and Steve. But it's kind of a really neat foggy morning on the river. I'll show you around. The reason we picked this spot is we had about 45 minutes of light left. We know there's some decent stuff down here, but we decided to take a look at it. There's no mud, sand, easy access with the boats. And then when we pulled up on the hill, it was perfectly flat, no brush. Trees were spaced good, and the timing was right. So we took it and kind of half-heartedly. But after we got up there, it was a really good sight. We're glad we stopped. Got the fog burning off. So I love a foggy morning. It's just really pretty. Kind of adds to the experience. So here's my setup. And I've got the Kelty 12 on the diagonal. And I like to put my boat underneath the tarp there if I can. That way if I need to change or do whatever I need to do, I can do that in the rain and not get wet. And it was raining yesterday. An advantage to the Kelty 12 on the diagonal is no tie-out points. I just grabbed a couple sticks and that's my stakes. So yeah, it's a fantastic little campsite. Doesn't have the most firewood. I'm sure we could find some, but we didn't need a fire. So it's kind of a moot point. Just perfect.
All right, guys, so we're having a pretty good morning. I believe everybody's about done doing what they're doing. And packing up. Getting ready to hit the river. Adventure Steve. Veteran kayak camper.
Can't say anything now.
Can't say anything now. That was the last item
Bucket list.
left on the list of manly things to do on this planet. So we're down here on the river. I got my boat in the water, all packed up, ready to shove off. A couple of the guys are still finishing up. Just gonna do one last look around, which is a good practice. Keeps you from leaving stuff. And then I'm ready to hit it and get it. But I think while these guys are finishing up, I'm gonna go play around in the rapid a little bit. The beach just sitting around camp. Maybe they'll hurry up a little bit if they see me on the water. So the River Kings get a little earlier start than most. I think the other guys are pushing to get where they are now. It's 9 o'clock. I'd like to have been on the water for about the last 30 minutes. But it doesn't work that way sometimes. These lazy guys, these monkey around guys, and these Adventure Steve guys, they're just weekend warriors. I think they like the idea of hammock camping and kayak camping, but really they just like to sit around, look at their phones, and drink coffee in the outdoors by a beautiful rapid, picturesque morning. Just sitting there enjoying things instead of, you got to get out and just work, go, go, go. They don't understand how to do it. I'll work on it.
And so after a nice, relaxing morning, we shoved off under another perfect day. And this morning held the promise of adventure as we paddled to the stretch that held the best whitewater. The Haw River was the first river I ever kayaked on. And the Haw River becomes the Cape Fear. And I've paddled this river all the way to the coast. And while that trip was many years ago, every now and then I'll come around the corner on this river, and it's like I'm there again. What's around that next bend? What adventure will I find? I remember each and every one of these rapids on my trip to the beach. I relished these rapids because from Fayetteville down there are no more. It's kind of like life. You better enjoy it while you're in it, because one day that river's going to slow down and all you have are the memories. So go find you some good friends and go find you a good river, so later you'll be able to find your memories. And here's a memory. When I went to the beach, my son had just turned 5 years old, and he was into dinosaurs. And I came around this bend, and I could just imagine seeing a dinosaur walking the river. So I named it Jurassic Corner. Each time around the bend, I remember my 5-year-old son. And the river's just about to pick up. We're starting to get into the rapids that have names.
Heavy out, Brian. We're going to come to, I think that's the chute. Paddle on the left. Paddle on the left. Yep, you're good. Perfect. Paddle hard. Paddle on the left, hard. All right, you're good. Woohoo! Nice. Right now. Woo, yeah! Yeah, baby! Yep. You were G.I. Joeing. That's when you would introduce a little bit of boat speed to actually go that direction. Because you pointed that way,
Yeah.
but you just kept sailing straight because of the keel. Like you went, the rocks here, you're like,
Yeah, here it was coming. I was trying.
So that's why you don't paddle, so that when you do point, a couple strokes and you actually go. Not bad.
Well, I found that chute Turtlehead Josh told me about, and I ran it. When I asked Brian if he was going to do it, he declined. But then he remembered his wife told him, "Take the hard line."
Yeah, baby. We ride! Yeah, so the boys are feeling good. We're just at this rapid here. I don't know the name, but we ran the left side originally. Then Shane and Steve learned to surf a little bit there at the bottom of that little chute. That may be the chute, but I saw it. There was a log blocking it. I climbed up, was able to move the log, and ran it. And then River King Brian here had to get a piece of the action. So that was about 3 feet wide with a 2 foot wide boat.
Yeah.
So that was a pretty good little bit of fun there. So
Yeah.
I don't know if that's the chute, Josh. That might be the chute you were talking about.
But that's the chute we ran.
But that's the chute we ran today. It's pretty fun. So I don't know, we're just having fun today. Onward! See that whirlpool? Don't let the whirlpools get you. Don't let the whirlpools get you. Careful. I was trying to catch that eddy. Couldn't quite do it. Woo, baby, yeah!
There you go. Hit that rock.
Lean left, lean left! That's the lean downstream part. Swimmer! How are you? Good?
Yeah, I'm good. I tried to lean the other way
Let's
too late.
flip it quick before your camera catches. We had a most unfortunate occurrence, as you just saw on the footage. Steve met the beast. And while he's fine, the beast kept his camera. And he's really wanting the footage. You see him. We probably spent at least 30 minutes here. We have mentioned the tether a few times during the trip from the onset. You know, if you have a small piece of rope, the river likes to take cameras. Isn't that right, Shane?
Yeah, it's got one or two of mine.
Got 1 or 2 of yours. Woo! You learn your lesson sometimes the hard way, and I think Steve is learning a hard lesson about tethering your camera. I tried to remind him this will be a good story later. Much later. Adventure Steve is looking for a camera.
Stay tuned.
River King Pete here with today's pro tip of the week. Whenever you're on a river and you're shooting GoPro, it's a good idea to tether that thing off. Pull your rudder up.
Can't stand up.
Get down.
Oh, we're floating just right. Just keep your feet up. Okay. We're just floating in the sediment. You got your paddle?
Yep.
Hey, Steve, I just want to take a time to talk to you. How's the trip going?
Well, it's kind of hot, Pete, so I thought I'd just cool off.
Adventure Steve's doing it right, guys.
Trip is awesome.
The trip is awesome. Yeah, we're having a good time.
Brutal!
I think Shane did it to you on purpose.
I think Shane blocked me.
Some fantastic footage. Your life jacket's working perfectly. Paddle on the left. Paddle on the left. Hard. Paddle hard. There you go. There you go. Much better. Good job. Paddle on the left. Paddle on the left. Paddle on the left. Harder. There you go. Good stuff. Doggone throw. Are you good? We got the cache. We're about to throw it in for you guys. Let's show you what we got. A couple River King stickers. 20 white LED microlights. That's like a Ridgeline light. Works on AA. An OtterBox. Just a little molly pouch for those that like that kind of thing. And then what do you have, Shane?
I got 5 monkeying around stickers. And I have a Sea to Summit clothesline. Wraps up in a little pouch. Neat little way to
That's pretty
dry
cool.
your clothes.
I almost stole it for myself. And Steve?
All right, what I have is a deck of fish playing cards. Got cool fish on them. I have 2 Adventure Outdoor stickers. And the rarest, this, my friend, is rare. This is the Adventure Outdoors Pow! Alpha Towel.
That's what I'm talking about.
There you go. Very rare.
Good deal.
Awesome cash.
And Steve is also donating a GoPro Hero 5 Black.
We'll give them the GPS location.
Yeah,
they
that's
can snorkel. And
we
find it.
we put that in a different cache location in the on the in the river under
cache.
the. Yeah, we'll get to that in a minute. So all this is going to be in this box. Let me pack it back up and then I'll show you where we got it. Okay guys, so this is the box. Little ammo can, yellow on one side. Pretty much nondescript. Let's go find us a hidey hole. All right, I think we got it. I think you're going to have to know where this is to find it. Not too hard. Giant stump with a hollow recess. You will not have to reach your hand down there to get it. It's sitting right up on top. And I think we're pretty much poison ivy free on the way in. Parking lot's right there, but that's not how you get to it. Right down here is the walking trail to get down to the river. So you see the big bridge with the rails.
The river's down that way.
River's down that way. You got a foot trail going up to the parking lot that way, foot trail going up to the parking lot that way, and you see this massive stump right there. I walked right up through the weeds, no poison ivy. Cache right there. Is that gonna work, Brian?
I think that's a winner.
Then I'll walk out so you can see where I came in and out of. So here we're at the parking lot. The little shelter over there, give you the panoramic of the parking lot here. You go down this foot trail. You know you're at the right spot because you see Eastern Redbud sign. You make it to this rail, you turn left and you start looking on your left for the massive stumps right down there. As always, if you find it, video yourself and post that to the River King Facebook page. Let us know you found it. And Shane with Monkeying Around, Steve with Adventure Outdoors, and Brian and I.
Is this the end of the video?
We say thanks, yeah.
All right, hey. thank you for inviting me. This was an awesome adventure. Brian, awesome.
It was good to meet you.
Pete, awesome.
Absolutely.
Shane, awesome. Thank you so much for inviting me. I had a wonderful, fantastic time.
Good deal. Do you want to do that with your GoPro?
I don't have a GoPro.
Forget.
Thanks, man.
We actually went back to Mermaid Point up there in Lillington and got that burger and banana pudding. They were open on Tuesday.
Thank you.
Yeah, we were trying to find on the news. Did you see where the actress that got stabbed, if she lived or not?
I have no idea.
Perky blonde chick, Reese something.
Like Witherspoon, Reese?
No, it was with a knife.
Oh no, I was Witherspoon. That's what I was thinking.
No,
Reese
with a
Witherspoon.
knife.
I don't think. Did I fall into a joke? Oh.
We're here with Edgar, the world's best waiter,
Yeah.
at
Go
Mermaid
Edgar.
Point, and we got the Carolina burger, and it looks pretty good. Got some green beans today. I'm kind of going healthy so I can smash this banana pudding because it's pretty good. That's a pretty good burger. All right, guys, we are done. We got the boats on the trucks. I'm taking Shane's Prion home with me to put a custom seat in there for him. He'll be a little more comfortable. But we had a great time, as always. Nice to meet you, Steve. We had a great time paddling. Shane, it was a pleasure again.
Had an awesome time.
Yeah, sorry you lost the GoPro, but it'll be a good story later.
Yeah, it's going to be a great story.
Josh, we're counting on you, man.
Turtlehead boys.
Turtlehead Boy's gonna find that camera.
Please, please find that camera.
Yeah. But I'm gonna tell you, if you go on a trip with Adventure Outdoors, you won't forget it.
It's an adventure.
It's an adventure. Shane,
Get your paddles wet.
he's looking like a rock star in that Prion. I guess you saw him. No swims. If you're looking for carnage, you got to go somewhere else. Speaking of, might I suggest Adventure Outdoors YouTube channel? There might be some carnage there.
There will be a carnage video.
Right on. Well, thanks for watching.